What's up, you guys? Happy Monday. Happy Monday, my beautiful Facebook fam. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm just hopping on here real quick, you guys. Listen up, because this is going to be a quick one to talk to you guys all about how to track alcohol in MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal, it's a blessing and a curse sometimes. It's what I use to track my macros. It's what all of my clients use to track my macros. In my opinion, it's the most user-friendly. It's the most widely used and well-known app in order to track your macros. And that's exactly what we do here. What we do here in this community, what I do as a coach, what my clients do as clients, they track macros. I am a macros coach, and that is how we reach our goals here. We track our macros. We count our macros. We set and eat and consume and hit specific macros in order to reach specific goals, right? We do that by using MyFitnessPal. Now, alcohol or ethanol is not a macro. It's not a protein, a fat, or a carbohydrate, but it still has calories to it. If you drink alcohol, you're consuming calories. Right? I've yet to find a 0-calorie alcohol out there. If you know of one, please enlighten me. I would love to hear it. But that just doesn't exist. And how convenient that as we're talking about alcohol, there's my little bar back behind me. So in order to accurately track our alcohol as a macro, it's got to be a carb or a fat. Okay? It cannot be a protein. We do not take away our protein in order to account for our alcohol. Why? Because our protein is way too important. It's way too important. It's like sacred. We need to eat our protein, a real protein. Okay, we need to get that in. So our alcohol gets counted as either a carbohydrate or a fat. It can be counted as either, or it can be counted as half and half, which is a little bit more work. So most people typically count their alcohol as a carbohydrate, okay? But MyFitnessPal will not do that for you. You've got to do that for yourself. MyFitnessPal will really jack with your results and your macros and your counting and your numbers if you're not keeping that in mind and making sure that that's correct whenever you log it in. Even if you're scanning the barcode. Even if you're scanning the barcode from your beer or your wine or whatever it is that you're drinking, your Trulies, or what are those, like, I don't know, basic, those basic seltzers that are going around lately that are so popular. Which claim to only have maybe 2 grams of carbs in them. Sorry, but that's a lie. Any alcohol that's like 2 grams of carbs, 5 grams of carbs, 0 carbs, that is a lie, because those calories have to be accounted for in some way, okay? So sorry, your Trulies, that's the only one I can think about right now, or think of right now. Trulies are not 2 grams of carbs. Sorry, they are not. Sorry to burst your bubble. And I'm going to show you guys a quick example here. Un momento. What else? So whether it's beer, wine, hard alcohol, mixed drinks, anything like that, whatever it is, typically, or I would honestly say 10 times out of 10, you're gonna have to go in and like manually log your macros for that drink yourself. But if you can go in and set just a custom recipe or food and create that macro for yourself, that macro breakdown for yourself, then you can just go into MyFitnessPal and use that for the rest of your life. Once you create it one time, it's there forever. So create your own wine entry, create your own beer entry, create your own margarita entry, create your own whatever type of alcoholic drink you love to drink all the time entry for yourself with the correct macros, and then it's there forever. And that's the one you use moving forward. No more guessing, no more worrying if it's right or not, or doing the math or whatever. okay? Now, let's see if I can flip this around. Yes, I can. Okay, so I pulled up my Fitness Pal on my laptop, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So this is a client's food logs, okay? And you'll see here a couple glasses of wine. She had 5 ounces of wine, so she had it twice, so it looks like she had 2 glasses of wine that night, okay? Now, each glass of wine is 101 calories. Fantastic. But it logs 3 grams of carbs, 0 grams of fat, and I don't know why her wine is saying 1 gram of protein. That's ridiculous. No wine has protein in it. Sorry, it does not. So this entry, we already know right off the bat, is inaccurate. 3 grams of carbs and 1 gram of protein. Now, if you know how many calories are in each macro, you can do the math real quick on that. Okay, so 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories. And this wine is supposedly have 3 grams of carbs, so 3 times 4 is 12, right? 1 gram of protein also has 4 calories. And this wine that supposedly has 1 gram of protein, that would be 4 calories, right? 1 times 4 is 4, okay? So 12 plus 4, y'all following me here? We're adding up the calories from the carbs and the calories from the protein. 12 and 4. Adding those together comes to 16, right? 12 and 4. So according to these macros, the 3 carbs and the 1 protein, that comes out to 16 calories. But what is it telling us? It's telling us it has 101 calories. But the macros don't add up to that. So something is wrong here. And you know what it is? It's your macros. These macros are inaccurate. So it's not the calories that we're worried about, because we're not counting calories. We count macros, okay? We hit correct macros, and that's all we ever worry about. We don't worry about the calories. But we can use the calories listed to check the macros and make sure they're accurate. But 12 calories of carbs and 4 calories of protein do not add up to equal 101. So we know that that's not right, okay? And that's what it comes down to. Every single alcohol entry in my Fitness Pal looks that way. Even sometimes they'll have the calories, but all the macros will be 0. How does that work? How do you have 0 macros and a ton of calories? Well, again, ethanol is not a macro, but ethanol does have calories, okay? But in order to make sure that it's accounted for by our macros, we have to convert the calories into either what? Carbs or fats or a little of both. But just for simplicity's sake, most people go with carbohydrates. So how do we do that? If you get an entry in MyFitnessPal for some alcohol, like this wine that I just showed you, and it has 101 calories for that 5 ounces, easy. You take 101, divide that by 4. That's how many carbohydrate macros, grams of carbs, that entry of wine should have, about 25. This wine entry should say 25 grams of carbs, but it doesn't. What does it say? It says 3. So if she was to just leave this entry as is with 3 grams of carbs and 1 gram of protein, her week would be completely thrown off, because she has this wine multiple times throughout the week, and she has, 2 glasses on this night, 3 glasses on this night, 4 glasses, 5, 6, 7. She had 7 glasses of wine this one night, right? That's just one night. And her macros are way off. That's 700 calories. 700 calories worth of macros that are not accounted for in that one night. Now imagine doing that multiple times throughout the week. Your numbers are going to be so inaccurate, and you're not going to be able to reach your goals. You're going to not get anywhere and wonder why. You're counting your wine, you're scanning it, you're entering it into MyFitnessPal, but you're not checking to make sure it's accurate, because it's not gonna be. It never ever will be. So I would suggest you creating your own alcohol entries. Create your own wine entry, beer entry, margarita, truly whatever it is that you drink the most. Take 5 minutes, 5 minutes of your life, and create your own entries so that you can use them over and over and over and know that they are accurate and your alcohol is accounted for, okay? So if it's like a Truly, and I don't know what the calories are on a Truly, say it's 200 grams in a can. You drink a can. Take 200 calories per can. Take 200 divided by 4. That's how many carbs you need to count for that one can, okay? So go into MyFitnessPal, create a Truly entry, say it's 200 calories for one can, and then divide that by 4 is 50. So make sure that that entry has 50 grams of carbs. Done. Easy, easy peasy. And then every time you have a Truly from now until the end of time, you select that entry and your macros are accounted for, okay? Or this wine. Typically a glass of wine is about 120 calories. I just know that off the top of my head from working with macros for so long. A glass of wine is usually about 120, 125 calories, okay? So how would you create an entry for that? Go into MyFitnessPal, create a wine entry, say one glass, 5 to 6 ounces as 125 calories, divide that by 4. What is that? 30-ish, 32-ish maybe? 32 grams of carbs for a glass of wine, okay? Create that in MyFitnessPal, and you just use that as your wine entry from now until the end of time. Every time you have a glass of wine, that's accounted for, okay? So yeah, there you have it. The mystery of alcohol in MyFitnessPal. You guys, there are no laws out there. There are no laws out there on food labels, let alone alcohol labels. And again, because ethanol, alcohol, is not a macro, they don't have to put this and do this for you and put this on there for you. You got to do it yourself. So they can literally hide 100 calories worth of calories in your alcohol and you don't even know it. And they tell you it has 0 carbs or 0 fat or whatever, right? But those calories are coming from something and you've got to account for them yourself, okay? So customize, make some custom entries for yourself and you will be golden. And start looking, paying attention. If you are someone that regularly has a glass of wine or some sort of alcohol during your week, but you are diligent about entering it because you're trying to be good and hit your goals, go back and look at your entries. It's got some calories associated to it, great. But what are those macros? Does it even have any macros? Again, a lot of times the macros will just be 0 across the board, but those calories will be there. Or like in this case that I just showed you guys, the macros will be there, but they will be way inaccurate. What wine has protein in it? No, sorry, not real, okay? So go back, double check, do this little experiment and create your own entries for yourself, all right? So little tip there, a little MyFitnessPal tip for you guys, which we're gonna be dropping a ton of for the rest of this week. So make sure you tune in to our trainings, both here on Facebook and over on the gram for the rest of this week. Me and Coach Mariah have a lot of stuff planned for you guys. If you guys have any questions about alcohol, how it works, how it affects your goals, how it affects your body, how to track it, how to log it, any more questions, just drop them down below. Let me know. And we will get those answered for you. All right, bye you guys.